Welcome to Hypothetical Dali. I'm your host, Dali. Okay, let's go back 52,000 years. A great civilization was on the planet. A great civilization that was as technically advanced as we are today. And all of a sudden, our galaxy swings through a part of the universe that is ridden, just filled with asteroids and comets. As our planet passes through this part of the galaxy, our planet gets bombarded by asteroids and comets. And it causes worldwide plate tectonic problems, volcanic problems, tsunamis. 80% of the world's population is completely wiped out. And that's plants, animals, and people. But there are a few people who survive. And these people find each other, they band together, and they try to reassemble society after this crazy cataclysmic event. And, you know, the day-to-day life becomes about survival. You know, they don't spend a lot of time focusing on the arts or the finer things in life. They just worry about finding food, building shelters, keeping themselves alive. Well, as time progresses, things do get a little better. The nuclear winter that was caused by all the volcanic activity goes away. The sun shines again, the planet warms up. Plants and animals are procreating like crazy. And with that, people start procreating too. And we come across this guy. His name is Bob. And he falls in love with this beautiful woman named Sue. So Bob and Sue decide to venture off on their own. They've got a big herd of goats. They've got some sheep. And they venture away from the village where the remnant of the population lived. And they go off and find a nice fertile place to settle down and start a family. But something interesting happens to humanity at this point in time. It's like this cataclysmic event caused like a massive cleansing of the planet. And right now, the people who are left and the people who survived it are very genetically strong. And Bob and Sue have 6 kids. They have four girls and 2 boys. And they farm and they herd their sheep and their goats, and everything's going great. The girls, the 2 oldest girls, are now old enough to marry, so Bob and Sue and the 2 girls go to the next closest village and find suitable mates for their daughters and bring them back to their place. And you know, they end up getting married and having children of their own, and they each have 6 children of their own. And eventually the other 2 girls and the other 2 boys get married, and the boys go off, but the girls bring their mates back, and they all have children, and then their children have children, and then their children have children. And the next thing you know it, Bob is like 100 years old, and he's got a tribe of close to 200 people living around him. And Bob thinks to himself, wow, I'm old, but I feel really good, and I look good, and everything's going great. So to make a long story short, Bob's little village turns into a town over the course of time. Another 100 years pass, and Bob is still alive. Bob and Sue are still alive, and they're watching their offspring procreate and multiply, and now the town becomes a city, and the city eventually becomes a small empire. Now 500 years have passed, and it's just not Bob and Sue that are living this long, it's everybody's living this long, okay? Strange things start to happen. They start to become more technically advanced. They become more socially advanced. Language develops, written language develops, agriculture develops. The needs of the society kind of force a quickening of the technology, almost back to the point where it was prior to the cataclysmic event. Little by little, technology gets more and more advanced, and the people continue living these long, long lives. So I mean, not only do they become as technically advanced as the society that preceded them, they become more technically advanced. I mean, way out there. They have flying machines. They have vehicles. They have communication. They have electricity. They have everything that we have today and more. 26,000 years passes. Bob is long gone by this point. He only lived to be 900. But the generations that are living at this time, they're only a few generations past Bob, They've got this big society, big empire, big government, lots of technology, and after this 26,000 years passed, pow, the universe, our galaxy, swings back into that part of the universe where the Earth was hit by all these comets the last time, and the same frickin' thing happens. The Earth gets slammed with all of these comets and asteroids. 80% of the population dies, but the part of the population that survives takes off from this centralized continent in boats and goes to all the ends of the Earth and takes little bits and pieces of that civilization with them, but they definitely are not as advanced as what we are today because they had to start all over again. Well, in 2012, we're going to be passing through that part of the universe again. So that's something for you to think about for today.